With the release of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, we're 3 films into the franchise, with 2 more planned before it concludes. They had a 3-year gap between the second and third installment, thanks to the delays caused by COVID and casting changes. Now, fans are eager to know if there will be a similar wait this time. Without further ado, here's everything you need to know about Fantastic Beasts 4. First off, is Fantastic Beasts 4 actually happening? We aren't sure yet, but the film should still happen. But we also can't deny that the 4th installment in the franchise is in more shaky ground than the first 3 films. In fact, several media outlets have reported that the Fantastic Beasts franchise isn't worth continuing. So far, no screenplay has been written for the film, and Warner Bros. Is also disappointed by the previous film's performance at the box office. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore collected $400 million worldwide, which is the lowest earning for any film in the Harry Potter universe. What's interesting is the fact that Secrets of Dumbledore sets the stage for the next film, as Grindelwald hasn't been defeated yet, although it's still unclear whether Warner Bros. Will stick to its original plans. Coming up, has Warner Bros. Changed the plans? The studio's original plans for the franchise were to make it a trilogy. Later, they announced in 2016 that they were expanding the Fantastic Beasts universe to include 5 movies altogether. By the end of the series, the films would have covered the years 1926 to 1945, when Grindelwald challenges Dumbledore in one of the most epic wizarding battles of all time. Although the script of the 4th installment hasn't been finalized yet, Grindelwald only seems to be getting started in terms of full climb to power in Fantastic Beasts 3. But with everything strange going on at Warner Bros., including the multiple controversies surrounding their actors, as well as the disappointing box office numbers, it now looks like the remaining movies in the Fantastic Beasts franchise may not happen at all. Up next, how does Fantastic Beasts 3 set up the 4th film? The Secrets of Dumbledore concludes with Aberforth Dumbledore taking away Aurelius, and he's also revealed to be his father. Following their defeat in the elections to head the International Confederation of Wizards, Grindelwald and Dumbledore are now ready for their combat, as after the latter seeks to protect Aurelius from the former's vengeance. But Dumbledore isn't hampered by it any longer, and he can deal with ex-lover in ways he couldn't for years. What's worth mentioning is the fact that the film concludes with Grindelwald revealing his evil plans for the entire wizarding world, who was watching the elections unfold. This only indicates that he'll probably be hiding for the majority of the Fantastic Beasts 4 and work on building a strong army behind the scenes before returning to the public eyes and unleashing his wrath. Following up, what could be the possible plot? At the end of the 3rd installment, the villain manages to escape Dumbledore and his army of wizarding heroes. But we know for a fact that Dumbledore and Grindelwald are destined to meet again. If we're lucky enough to get the planned 5 movies, we'll be able to witness the epic showdown between them. As we've mentioned, the 4th film could possibly follow the villain building his army, with the 5th and final film featuring the final battle. As for the other characters, Newt Scamander has literally become a minor character in his own franchise. In the Fantastic Beasts 3, we've seen him become an important ally to Dumbledore and pledging to help him again if needed. Now, we're pretty sure that it'll happen next time around. Besides this, there's also the storyline of Aurelius Dumbledore, or Credence, to follow. After being united with his father during the previous film, it seems that he'll finally be able to escape the Obscurus that was threatening his health and find purpose as a nice guy. We also saw Jacob Kowalski finally being reunited with Queenie Goldstein, and the two end up getting married. This doesn't mean they're ready to settle down and be out of the picture. Don't be surprised if these two return for more action in the upcoming films. Surprisingly, there's one plotline from Fantastic Beasts 2 that wasn't explored in the last film, and that's the origins of Voldemort's snake, Nagini. In the second film, it was revealed that she was previously a human woman, but the mystery still remains unsolved. Now that we're getting closer to the Harry Potter timeline, perhaps we'll get all the answers. Moving on, what's the release date for the film? There isn't any official announcement from Warner Bros. For Fantastic Beasts 4 and Fantastic Beasts 5, so we can only speculate about the possible release date. The first film in the series was released in 2016, followed by Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, hitting the cinemas in 2018. But The Secrets of Dumbledore was released in cinemas in April 2022, almost 4 years after the sequel. The multiple delays were due to the ongoing pandemic, which saw multiple production houses being shut down. And now, the fourth film has to face the insane controversies surrounding the cast. Previously, it was assumed that the fourth installment would arrive in November 2022, with Fantastic Beasts 5 coming to cinemas in 2024. Obviously, it won't be the case anymore. If Fantastic Beasts 4 does happen, we'll have to wait until 2025 at the earliest. If you want to hear it from the producer, David Heyman himself, he mentioned in an interview in February 2022 that the work on the script for the fourth movie has yet to begin. What's worse is the fact that director, David Yates, is also supposed to start working on another film for Sony in the interim. As for the fifth film, we can't even speculate, as it'll depend on the release of the fourth film. Now, for who will be in the cast. First of all, it would be surprising if Eddie Redmayne didn't reprise his role as Newt Scamander, the protagonist of the series. Jude Law has also become a key figure in the franchise, as the character of Dumbledore is important in the series. With Grindelwald still roaming freely, it's almost certain that he'll return for the sequel. And speaking of Grindelwald, this one might be tricky to predict. So far, we've seen 3 different actors play the role of this villainous character in the first 3 films. It only needs to be seen if Mads Mikkelsen will return for Fantastic Beasts 4, or will the production studio announce yet another transformation. In the supporting cast, we've got Dan Fogler's character, Jacob Kowalski, who was pretty content in the last film after getting married to his beloved Queenie, played by Alison Sudol. Whether they've a significant part to play or not, we can expect them to reprise their roles. As for the character of Credence, he's still got a lot of development ahead of him. He was literally on the verge of death, and now that he's reunited with his true family, he should have a brighter future. But the reappearance of the character will only depend upon Ezra Miller's behavior between now and the start of the production. Otherwise, we can expect to see another recast. We have the same doubts for Katherine Waterston and her character, Tina Goldstein. Her role was drastically reduced in Fantastic Beasts 3. We really don't know what the future holds for her character. Don't be surprised if it's written out of the future films. Last but not the least, can Fantastic Beasts 4 win back the fans? The franchise has been surrounded by a number of controversies over the years, which drove a lot of fans away. It's true that Mads Mikkelsen did justice to the role of Grindelwald. Still, a lot of fans were furious when Johnny Depp was removed due to his allegations of domestic abuse. Besides this, the never-ending controversies surrounding Ezra Miller didn't do the films any favors either. Surprisingly, J.K. Rowling brought the downfall of the franchise herself with transphobic comments. Despite everything, Fantastic Beasts 4 has the potential to do well. Johnny Depp has won his defamation case, which has increased his following. Casting him again can bring back a lot of fans after his departure. As for Ezra's part, there isn't much need for it to be continued, as Credence had a suitable closure to his story. But yes, J.K. Rowling's part may be harder to fix. It now depends upon Warner Bros., and the chances don't seem unlikely. After the previous 2 films didn't bring much profit, they may opt to develop a separate spin-off in the same universe. Yes, you've heard that right. If rumors are to be believed, director Chris Columbus has shown his interest in adapting The Cursed Child, the events of which take place after Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and follow the story of children of Harry, Hermione, and Ron. There are also rumors that a new spin-off series is currently in the works at HBO, but they've denied such claims. Still, it's best to try something new to revive the magic. That's a wrap for this video. Are you excited for the future Fantastic Beasts films? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more amazing and exciting videos like this. See you in the next one.